Kevin's a hero because he just never gives up. He can be sitting in a game with me and we talk, and he'll talk to me about, Dad, when am I going to die? And when I die, what's going to happen then?
I started falling down, that's one of the signs that I had that I almost had muscular dystrophy.
When Kevin was about 5, we played t-ball and I coached his team. And during that time, I'd send all the kids around the bases at the end of practice, and they'd all go around the bases, and the only one that didn't get around the bases when they were done was Kevin. He'd barely be almost to first base. So we knew something was wrong. We took him to the doctor and found out he has muscular dystrophy. When people tell him he can't do things, he doesn't like can't. He likes to try, and he tries to make sure he does do things. He plays baseball, he plays hockey, he tries to catch the ball. He doesn't have any arm strength anymore. So if you're throwing it to you, you got to put it right in his lap. But he's willing to try. Been in the hospital a couple of times. He's had his ankles, when you don't use your ankles and your legs a lot to walk, your ankles tighten up really bad. And in the back of his legs, about the size of my fist, he'll get Charlie horses. And those Achilles tendons tighten up so bad that they finally have to cut him to make him loosen up again so his foot can go square again instead of being curving up or curving down, I mean. So his toes aren't pointing as much. But he's had to have this Achilles tendons released. He's been in for pneumonia before in the hospital. And then, of course, he's had a lot of experience with his brother going to the hospital. He's a pretty good brother to Tyler, his brother.
What I want to be when I grow up is a football coach.
I think Kevin would like to coach, and I think this is his dream being fulfilled now, that he's reaching out for the dream that he can have. In fact, one of the coolest things in the world for me was watching the head coach, Ben Cashin, when he gave out all the jerseys to all the kids. He gave everybody a jersey, and when he got all done, he says, "Who's missing?" And the players looked around and says, "We don't know." And then they looked again, and they says, "It's Kevin." And Coach pulled this out, and it says, "Coach Kevin." I don't know if you can see that on there, but he's been a mascot for this team before in the earlier years, a couple of years before, where he'd showed up a lot of practices and he'd go out as a captain and call the toss and things like that with them. In fact, they won a championship and he got a trophy as part of the team with them because they really played for him. And he went over in his wheelchair. He'd brand new got his wheelchair, and he went over just like crazy to celebrate with his team, and he was so excited. And his team stood around him and cheered, "Kevin, Kevin," and they cheered for him. And they loved to get around him and cheer for him because they knew he was working hard. And as hard as he asked them to work, one of the kids got in the huddle to break up this year, and Levon got in the huddle, and he's one of the captains. Really great runner, and he looked and said, "Guys, Kevin can't even do some of these things that we can do and we take for granted. We need to go out there and win for him. Because that's all he wants to see he wants to see us win. He wants to see us work hard and do our best." So that was pretty cool. He's really enjoyed being with these guys.
People with MD that they should be not scared to die. When I go to heaven, I'm going to be able to walk and play football.